Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now, sorry about the background noise. I think there's someone mowing their lawn. But I am at the park again. And this is my game week 29 Premier League predictions. Now, it is going to be a bit of a shorter video, so because of the FA Cup action. So we'll start off at Turf Moor, where we have Burnley against Brentford. Now, Burnley last time out, they drew to West Ham United. I mean, I've been backing Burnley to draw recently, but as soon as I back Burnley to lose, they draw. Yes, they drew to West Ham United 2-2. I mean, no one would have predicted that again. But they're up against a Brentford side who last time out lost to Arsenal narrowly 2-1 through a Kai Havertz goal. And you see, it's tough this match. I can see Burnley getting a point a game. Burnley 1, Brentford 1. Right, the next match, and we head over to Kenilworth Road, and it's a relegation 6-pointer in the bottom half of the table, and it's 18th against 17th, and it's Luton Town against Nottingham Forest. Now, last time out, Luton Town, obviously, they drew to Crystal Palace 1-1. Last minute, Corley Woodrow. They drew to Crystal Palace 1-1. They are up against Nottingham Forest, who obviously they lost to Brighton and Hove Albion narrowly 1-0. And again, all the refereeing decisions go against Everton and Nottingham Forest. I mean, you've got to feel for us and Nottingham Forest, haven't you? And the Premier League just hates us, I feel. Yeah, Nottingham Forest, Luton Town against Nottingham Forest, you see. I think if Forest lose, then I can see them going down. They have a run of fixtures that you need, that they need to. They have 3 fixtures coming up that they need to pick up 9 points from. I know they play Luton Town, but I don't know the others. Luton Town obviously play tomorrow against AFC Bournemouth in the game in hand. But for this one, yeah, Luton Town 1, Nottingham Forest 1. Both teams survived to fight another day. The next match, and we head over to Craven Cottage, and it's arguably the best game of the weekend in the Premier League, with the FA Cup fixtures happening, and it's Fulham against Tottenham Hotspur in a London derby. Now, Fulham, last time out, they were 2-1 losers in the end. They lost to Wolverhampton Wanderers 2-1. Tottenham Hotspur, they battered Aston Villa 4-0. What's gone wrong with Aston Villa? Well, we'll talk about Aston Villa when we get onto their match in a couple of minutes. For this one, I can see there being goals actually. Fulham tend to score a few goals at home. Fulham are at home. Fulham 2, Tottenham Hotspur 3 goals. The next match, and we head over to West Ham, and we head over to the London Stadium for West Ham United, and they face Aston Villa. Now, West Ham United coming off the back of a 2-2 draw against Burnley. Interesting match, that one. Back and forth, and West Ham snatching a point late on, but they're up against Aston Villa, who haven't been in great form recently. They lost 4-0 to Tottenham Hotspur, and I keep on saying, as soon as you talk about Aston Villa being in a title race, they just seem to collapse. For this match, I put down a Desmond actually. West Ham United 2, Aston Villa 2. Both teams need the win. Now, that's the end of the fixture list for this weekend. Now, because it's a bit of a shorter video, I wanted to add in some FA Cup fixtures, some FA Cup predictions. Now, the FA Cup predictions, let us start off with Wolverhampton Wanderers against Coventry City. Now, Wolverhampton Wanderers, they, last time in the FA Cup, they beat Brighton and Hove Albion 1-0. Mario Lemina scored that goal to separate the two sides. Now, again, it looks like an interesting one, doesn't it? Coventry City beat Maidstone United 5-0. But Coventry City, the underdogs. Now, it's worth remembering that whoever wins these matches go on to Wembley, because the semi-final matches get played at Wembley in this competition. Yeah, Coventry City again, Wolverhampton Wanderers against Coventry City. I mean, it's a bit of a Midlands derby as well, isn't it? I'm not sure when these two teams last played, but I suppose you've got to lean towards home advantage, haven't you? Wolverhampton Wanderers 4, Coventry City 0. The next match in the FA Cup, and we head over to the Etihad Stadium for Manchester City against Newcastle United. Now, the champions Manchester City, last time out, they beat Luton Town 6-2. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I can see them winning this tournament, basically. Man City Liverpool final, maybe. Erling Haaland and Phil Foden were ridiculous in that game, if I can remember rightly. I think Haaland scored 4 or 5. But they're up against Newcastle United, and Newcastle United won't roll over. They're not as bad as Luton, saying that they did actually draw Luton in the Premier League. Last time out, Newcastle United, they beat Blackburn Rovers on penalties. It was a 1-1 draw, but it went straight to penalties, and Newcastle United won 4-3. For this one, again, I suppose you look towards the favourites, don't you? Manchester City. Manchester City 3, Newcastle United 1. And the next match is Chelsea against Leicester City. Now, Chelsea coming off the back of a 3-2 win against Leeds in the FA Cup. Conor Gallagher netting the winner from outside the box, and let's be honest, it was a good goal. They are up against Leicester City, who Abdul Fatahou's screamer late on separated the two sides. That was in extra time. Now again, these two teams, you see, Leicester City, it wouldn't surprise me if Leicester get something, but again, you've got to look towards the favourites, haven't you? Chelsea, Chelsea 2, Leicester City 0. And the final match, and it's a big one, it's at Old Trafford, Manchester United against Liverpool. Now, Manchester United, coming off the back of a 1-0 win in the Emirates FA Cup, they obviously, Casemiro, obviously his goal separated the two sides. but they're up against Liverpool, and Liverpool, last time out in the FA Cup, it was a 3-0 win at Southampton for Liverpool, against Southampton for Liverpool, and again, I can see it going either way. Manchester United haven't been in the best of form in the league, but it is the FA Cup, and it is a derby, and as they always say, form goes out of the windows for derbies, and it goes out of the windows for FA Cup matches. But, I'm sorry, I'm leaning towards Liverpool. Manchester United 1, Liverpool 3. Also, finally, I just want to touch on Newcastle and Chelsea. Obviously, Newcastle and Chelsea are 3 and 4 points off Conference League. If you're a Newcastle and Chelsea fan, would you take Conference League over no Europe at all? Chelsea haven't been in Europe for a couple of seasons, and I suppose Conference League isn't a bad thing for teams like Aston Villa, but I don't know, maybe is it a bad thing for Chelsea and Newcastle, who want to get Europe and have ambitions for Europe season after season after season? I mean, it's tough. Anyway, that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will speak to you in the next one. Thank you everyone for watching.